Hey, thanks for tuning into this episode of George's Car Vids. I'm gonna do something a little bit different. Um, if any of y'all watched the video that I did on buying a car for your kid, where I'm talking about things that I look for, I did a thing. I actually ended up purchasing. I need a minivan for maybe a short period of time, so I ended up buying a fairly inexpensive minivan. Another YouTuber that I watch said that there's no inexpensive, good running vehicles to be had. So I'm gonna show you one that I bought. I paid a little bit less money than the Camry. I started a little bit of this already, but we'll take a look. We'll talk about it. I still have some things that need to be done. Actually, as soon as I'm done filming this, I'm gonna do a little bit more work. But I'm gonna talk about a few of the things that I look for in an inexpensive personal vehicle. So y'all probably done listening to me talk. So let me shut this thing off and see, there I go. I'm gonna shut this thing off and I'm gonna show you this inexpensive ride. Okay, so here it is. It is a 2013 Grand Caravan SXT. So this means I'm gonna have the power doors and power lift gates. My wife and I had a 2018 and we absolutely loved it. We had the SXT with the blackout package. We ended up trading it for a Pacifica. Some things happened with it, and I end up in need of a van. I've got a nice third row SUV, but my wife just doesn't like driving it. She really missed her van, so we've got kids. So if you've seen the Camry video, you know I bought that for one kid. Well, I got one that gets her permit at the end of this month. So we're going to be about a year away from us not needing a van anymore. So I figured for what I'm paying for it, if this thing would last me 12 months, which if you guys like this video, then I may do a little bit more on it. I've kind of started some things, so when we get on the inside, I'll show you a few things that I did. Overall, it's not bad. I mean, this thing's got 188,000 miles on it. It's actually got decent tires. You got one little spot. I've got a little bit of rust back here in the back and a scratch that I really ain't addressed. And I'm debating if this thing runs good. That's not, and I'll just show you. You see where somebody tried to do just a crappy cover up, but I think I could sand that and make it look a little bit better. I mean, you're not looking for perfection in something that's cheap, but if it ends up being mechanically sound, I might take a little time to deal with some exterior aesthetics. The rear tires are dang near new. The front tires I probably really need to change them before it snows, but they're not bad. I've got one small dent, which really, if I want to get a PDR guy to pop it out, you can barely see it, but it's like right here. Then I've got this little spot of surface rust, which again, if this thing ends up running good, I'll probably go ahead and address that. I mean, it's got its scratches. I mean, this piece is obviously scuffed up, as you can see. It's dirty on the outside. I scrubbed it a little bit. The top had funk all over it. I've kind of started to scrub the outside. The inside of this thing was absolutely horrid. I wish I'd have filmed this when I first got it before I started cleaning on it. It's still not super clean, but it's a vast improvement. Like I said, on this side, you kind of got the same thing going on. Again, if it runs and drives good, I need this thing to last me a year. So, I mean, I could probably fill that and Bondo it and sand it, and it would look good from 30 foot away. I mean, other than that, I mean, it's not a bad van. The headlights all work. Everything works, and it blows ice cold air. It's got some warning lights on in the dash. There's a dual pressure sensor I'm going to have to address. There's an O2 sensor to address. And then a couple things to chase an evap code, but not things that's going to cost me a lot of money. Overall, it runs good. It shifts good. All the power doors work. I noticed the passenger side, or the driver's side, sliding door, when you roll the window down, I think the regulator's a little weak. So, I mean, I probably just won't roll it down. I'll address it later. But the inside of this thing was absolutely disgusting. It's got a couple dents. You'll see them where maybe somebody tried to break in this at one time. And they're not bad. Again, I think with taxes, I'm here over $1,600 into this. That's before I buy any parts. The radio didn't work. I ended up swapping a head unit. The seats were stained up, which I'm gonna cut this off, get on the inside, and I'll show you exactly what I'm talking about. So getting on the inside, I've been driving this thing for about a week, or actually my wife has. I drove it for 3 or 4 days before I bought it. I mean, you got some funk going on down here. I scrubbed that. I mean, this thing's still dirty. There was no floor mats in it. And the guy lived on a gravel road. I don't know if this is going to show up good, but this was really dusty. I'm probably going to end up taking these vents out. You can kind of see up in here. You can see some of the dust. 182,000 miles. It's got, like I said, it's got check engine light on. But it's also got tire pressure light on. It's got one tire sensor. It's bad. It's got power pedals, steering wheel, audio controls, cruise, power everything, power lift gates, all the power doors, all that minivan stuff. I ended up getting these off Amazon. Like I said, the seats were extremely stained. So I'm getting these. They weren't super expensive. I like them. The installation wasn't bad. I still have to do the second row, and then I have to do the back. I got the whole kit. So I'm going to install those. We'll hop in, fire this thing up, figure out where in the hell I put my key. So I ended up getting this off Amazon. It's an AI Navi unit. So that's got Apple CarPlay. The radio and stuff in here didn't work. And I'm going to tell you something. The installation was super easy. Super easy. Here, let me step this up. Like I said, it's got a check engine light and a tire pressure light. I've got about 5 codes I'm going to have to address. They're permanent. 13.3 miles per gallon is nowhere near accurate. 182,483 on the miles. And like I said, this thing was filthy. I don't know. Like I said, I scrubbed this thing. But that's the AI Navi unit. I've not put the backup camera in yet. So I'm going to do that part of the install next. As you can see, as I back up, it's telling me it's unavailable. I do have a backup camera at home. This thing does Apple CarPlay, Android Auto, or whatever they call it. Econ button. If you've owned any of these vans, you know you never run this. Dual zone. It's not digital climate. You do have rear heat and air. I've got it running. I mean, I hop out. I mean, like I said, 184,000 miles. And like I said, I'm in it for $1,600. It blows ice cold air, front and rear. I'll hop in the back. I've got the second row seats folded with the stow and go. But as you can see, all that works. I mean, you can see, you look in here, I've scrubbed the inside of this. You can I kind of did it was a little bit dark, so you still see dust up here. I still have a decent amount of cleaning to do. The second row seats are folded, so when they're folded, I mean, that's going to give you an idea of how dirty this was when I started. I still have to scrub this out and vacuum it, but you see all this dust and dirt and grime? That's how it was. The whole van, I scrubbed this thing top to bottom. As you can see, I cleaned it up pretty good. I still have to do the windows. I've got back seat covers. You can see a bunch of stuff like that just all over. These seats, this is why I always like the leather trim, because these seats, even with kids, they always got dirty and nasty. Power lift gate, if you use it on the inside, works fine. If you actually pull it from the outside, I think I've got a couple weak struts. But as you can see, I mean, it's in pretty damn good shape. Power liftgate works. You can see, that just gives you an idea of something that I cleaned. I'm going to put a backup camera in for that head unit. As you can see it from up here, I've got this missing. I'm going to have to find this cover. And like I said, I didn't clean the liftgate, but all the plastic in here was like this. I got to clean the windows. I'm going to do a good deep cleaning of it this weekend and get it looking a little bit better. I'm going to get seat covers on, and then probably the next thing I'm going to do is start just doing the mechanical. I've got an oil pressure switch coming. I had to order a special socket for it. I mean, overall, this thing really isn't, for the money, you really can't ask for better. Blows cold air, runs up and down the road fine. You can hear, I got out here running, you hear it run. Sounds good. All these doors work. Like I said, you can still see a lot of that dust. you know, a lot of this back end that I cleaned at night with a drop light. So passenger side just gives you an idea of those seat covers. I did get those off Amazon. The second row has seat covers like this, and then I've got the same covers for the bench. This piece is missing on the top. I'm gonna have to get one of those. As you can see, I'll probably get both of them. That one's pretty nasty, but overall, I mean, she's not a bad van for, again, what I paid for it. And if you like this kind of stuff, I'll show you a little more what I do to it. We'll talk about whether this thing lasts a year or not. If you guys want to see more on this thing, just give me a shout. But for now, that's going to be it for my 2013 Dodge Grand Caravan SXT. So again, this is going to be my wife's ride. We have a third row Traverse, you know, for trips and stuff. But I didn't want to replace that Pacifica with another nice van, knowing that a year from now, I'm not going to need it because I'm going to have 2 kids with licenses that are going to drive themselves everywhere. So again, if you like watching this kind of stuff, if you like this kind of content, I could do more of it. I've got some stuff to do on the Camry yet. I've got check engine light to address and a couple other little things. Overall, that car's been running great. If you guys watched that one at all, car's been running well. I had a shake about 50-60 mile an hour. I did a tire rotation on it. It mostly went away, so I know it's a tire issue. I'm going to address a set of tires on it. The kid doesn't start driving that car till the end of this month, so it's something that I'm going to have to address. But when I swapped them out, it's good enough to drive around town in, which is, he's not on the interstate at 70, 80. It went from a shake at 50 to 60 to a shake at 70 to 90. So I just made it where it's a little higher up the band, and he ain't going to drive that fast. So again, thanks for taking time to watch this video. If you like this kind of stuff, please give me a thumbs up. Subscribe to my channel. I'm starting to get a decent amount of subscribers. I'm doing a few more shorts. Again, if you like that kind of stuff, give me a thumbs up, and I'll see you in the very next one. If you guys like it, we'll talk some more about this. Thanks a lot.